Hello, everyone. Feels so strange doing this in English, but we'll give it a shot. My name is Josefin, and I live in the northern parts of Sweden, in Umeå, and I'm a manic, frantic knitter and knitwear designer. Hobby knitwear designer, I should add. I've had the opportunity of reviewing Sari Nordlund's newest book, which came out not too long ago, Summer Knits, and I'm so excited about this. So this video will be a short review of the book. I just tore it open the moment it arrived in my mailbox because I'm so excited about this book because was it a couple of weeks ago maybe I saw a picture of one of the patterns that are featured in the book. I will show you and talk more about that pattern later on. It got me so excited, and Dream Cozy Publishing provided me with a sample, which I'm very, very thankful for, grateful. Thank you so very, very much. And I think that we'll just dive right into it. This book, as you can see by the cover, I think the first impression is very classy. It gives you kind of high expectations of what to come inside. It's very nice color choice. The pictures are very appealing to me. More about them. And on my first flip through, when I opened the book, I was amazed by all of the beautiful pictures taken. And also how like font and everything is just very pleasing for the eye. Very easy to read. Very clear instructions. It starts off with kind of tips for a successful knit, how to pick the right yarn, how to choose a correct size of your garment, abbreviations and stuff. And then, or even before, in her foreword, she talks about her inspiration for this book. And the inspiration has been Rome and Roman goddesses, which I think I would have been able to guess without reading it. Not only because the patterns are named after Roman goddesses, but also how the pictures tell a story about the patterns and the overall feeling of the book. Rome is a dream vacation of mine. I want to go there so bad, and it's on my bucket list. I think the page disposition as well is very nice. I have my notes down here. That's why I'm looking this way. After her foreword, she there's a content pictures, which is just beautiful, and you get to see all of the patterns together. And I love that there are like mini collections within the book, like for cities. I don't even know how to pronounce it in either English or Swedish, but cities. It's a goddess, apparently. Never heard of her. She's probably awesome. But she has like a tee, a camisole, cardigan. Was there anything else? No. You get the gist. Like there are many collections within the book. And I love that. I would have wished to have them like together. because as the disposition of the book, they are all like scattered. There's no, and that's one of the points on my minus list of the negatives, or the small. I don't even want to call them negatives because nothing is negative with this book, or bad with this book. But I would have preferred to have all the patterns linked to the same goddess, or together, like for, I don't know, it's easier for me than to flip through. And oh my god, there was a cardigan as well. I didn't see that at first. Also, when you look at the pictures, my mind is like a popcorn machine. So just try to tag along, okay? Because my notes are all over the place and my mind is all over the place. So it's gonna be a bumpy ride, as the hanging head in Harry Potter said. When I look at the pictures, I am struck by the simplicity in her styling and the effortlessness and sophistication of the pictures, but not forced in any way. It's just so simplistic and effortless and beautiful. And I love that she's modeling most of her garments herself, because sometimes you can see like a top or a cardigan that's knit up to have a recommended ease, a positive ease for like 10 to 15 centimeters, and then you see a size large and a person who's obviously not that size, very much smaller, and the ease is not the recommended ease, it's probably more like double the recommended ease, and it gives, to me, it gives the wrong idea of the fit of the garment. I want to see it on the person who's intended to wear it as they describe in the pattern, if that makes any sense at all. So I love that she's modeling a lot herself too, because she's gorgeous. Her palette, let's talk about her color palette, is very earthy, and it ties perfectly in with the inspiration, with the sand and the stone and the marble, and while at the same time I can see so many of these pieces in like brighter colors or semi-solids, or even one or two of them in multicolored yarns, like a camisole that's made up in stockinette stitch. I'll show you that one later. And the material that she has chosen enhances the color palette, of course, because it's summer knits, it's cotton, it's linen, it's silk. It blends of many different kinds. And it strikes me so much that even if it wasn't her in the picture, that I would have no problem guessing who designed these pieces, because it's so much, it's so her, and all the things that we love about her garments. There are 23 patterns, I think, in total. And there are tops, tees, accessories, cardigans, dresses, a skirt. She's very generous in her sizing, as always. I also think that she has a very good range of yarns that she's used, and she doesn't have a suggested yarn option. She's more like, you will need so and so many meters or yards of a sport weight, and then she's listed what she has used for her samples, like the white one is knit up in that, and the brown one is knit up in that. So it's very free in picking, and she's very inclusive is the word I'm looking for. she's very inclusive, because not everyone has the budget to knit things in pure silk or more luxurious yarns like hand-dyed yarns and stuff. So I like that she's very inclusive, even with her yarn choices, because she has very many well-known accessible brands like Knitting for Olive, Sandnes, Isager, Deredam Natura, but she also has one or two of these more luscious yarns, and it's in a design that it really brings something to the garment. It's not just because it's an expensive yarn. It's more like it adds very much to the design, and like the fabric that it creates for that particular pattern. This is a perfect coffee table book. I would have to buy my own coffee table because ours is always full of Legos and toys. and I'm afraid they might scratch my book. So I have it on I have sort of like a small table beside the couch where I sit. I put it there so that I can see it, because it makes me happy, and I can't stop flipping through the pages because I love the pictures. Oh my god, I can try and show you like this one. I'm gonna talk about this pattern, by the way, later. Okay, I'll disappear now. This one. She also has pictures like just of the architecture maybe. Because that's one of her inspirations as well, like the city as a whole. And she gives a lot of angles with her pictures, which I also love. Close-ups, and you can see, like for this one, you can see that these two are made with different kinds of yarn. It's the same pattern, but the difference that it makes what yarn you choose. I think that due to my mission, I have set for myself this year of knitting like tees and tops all year round for using it all year round, not just only in the summer. This book feels so right, and I completely love it. But one more thing that is kind of a little bit of an issue for me is that all of the charts are given at the end of the book. It's like, and this bothers me a little bit. Because I don't like flipping like between pages. I would have wanted it like beside the pattern that it belonged to. But other than that, it's like a perfect book. It's a perfect book, and it's so beautiful. How many times have I used that word? I don't know. I don't think there's a limit either. So love the book. Well done, Sari. Thank you so much to Cozy Publications, Cozy Publishing, and let's talk a little bit about 4 patterns that caught my eye, and I'll begin with this one, which is the reason that I got that made me ache for this book, and it's this one. It's called Juno, and all of these patterns have their own pattern page on Ravelry. So everything I talk about now is available there as well. This one, and it's just amazing. It's a raglan construction tee with a lace sleeve, and we all know that Sari does lace so well, so well. And it's knit up. Her sample is knit up in Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino, and it's 24 stitches per 10 centimeters. And I don't really know what I'm gonna use. I think I might use Marilyn from Isage. I think that's one of the best choices or matches that I have in my stash, which is humongous, by the way. Yes, so this is one of the first that I will be casting on as soon as I have needles free from other projects. The next one is the one I mentioned earlier, Ceres. This one. And I love that there is a short-sleeved cardigan version. I've been obsessed with knitting short-sleeved cardigans lately because it's really something that I need in my closet, because I love wearing dresses in the summer, and I think it's just perfect to have a short-sleeved cardigan to throw on top for those chillier days or evenings. Because the long sleeve, I think often I feel like it's too much. I get too warm by that. So short-sleeved cardigan, perfect garment for summer. So I'm super excited about this one. 21 stitches per 10 centimeters. I think, because I saw her pattern Dido tee on Ravelry, and I ordered the Rerum Natura Candide for that one, but I think this will be my Ceres cardigan, actually. Perfect cardigan in like a beige oat sand color. Goes with everything. And after I finished, or at the same time, I will be casting on this beauty, Vanilla. And I especially love the brown sample of this one. This is completely gorgeous. I love this pattern. I don't recognize the yarn. I've never seen the brand. I don't think we have it in Sweden. Camellia Fiber Company, but it's the light one here is made with that, and it's a blend of alpaca, linen, and silk. And the brown sample is a wool silk blend. So I'm thinking in fingering weight. So I'm thinking I'm going to use like a hand-dyed merino. I don't really know what yarn to choose, right, for this one. I'll have to think about that, actually. And the fourth pattern that I am putting in my queue is Juturna, maybe. It's a camisole. And you can choose if you want to make a peplum hem or not. Such a classic, just camisole. Knit up like very quickly. I would guess like 22 stitches. Here she's used Delirium Natura Antigone. Pronunciation, you guys. But it's like 100% linen, or the other sample is knit up in a cotton linen blend. 185 yards per 50 grams. So it's like sport, I would say. Yeah, sport weight. Knit up very fast, very quickly. And I think this is like this one. Come on. You need one in every color, don't you? And this is one of the patterns I thought about when I talked, or when I said that some of the patterns can be knit up in very bright colors or even in multi-colored yarns. Because this one is so slick and elegant, and it's like very plain. I don't want to use the word plain because it's not plain that way, but a multicolored yarn wouldn't hide anything, like a lace or construction detail of any kind. So it would be appropriate even for the multicolored yarns. There you have it, on Sari Nordlund's new book. And I think if you're even considering not buying this book, get yourself together and buy the book, because this one is a beauty. And I'm very, very happy that I got the opportunity to talk about this book with you guys. That's my first video review of a book in English. So thank you so much for your time. And again, thank you, Dream Cozy Publishing, for the opportunity. If you want to, you can follow me on Instagram, same on Ravelry. And I also have a knitting podcast here on YouTube in Swedish. Thank you. Have a lovely summer. Knit away. And don't forget to check the patterns out on Ravelry from this book. Thank you for your time.